Okay, today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of being a fashion photographer. Okay, there's so many cons and pros. With any job, so cons along. Then, before I dive into this topic, I just want to let you know that regardless of the pros and cons, this is just another thing that happens with every single job. But without further ado, I'm going to dive in. Now, being a photographer is rewarding and fulfilling. Okay, you get to meet a lot of people, you get to make a lot of connection, and it's plenty of opportunities will come your way if you're great at what you do, and it also exposes you to a plethora there of people. Now, you also have the opportunity to travel to different places, to different countries. You will have the opportunity to go to different events. You might even get an invitation to come to an event, to share an event for a particular client, or maybe for a particular show. They want you at the event, want you to get free press. That's some of the perks of being a fashion photographer. Now, the joy of also taking beautiful pictures that you enjoy, working with different models, with different designers, different creative people as well. Collaborating with great teams of people and bringing your idea to life. That's truly amazing, and brings joy to others as well. Also, your ability to see beauty in everything. To as a photographer, you develop a keen eye for details. The more photography, the more pictures you take, the more attention to detail you see. Do you see the connection in things, shapes, and color? Color palettes. The more you take more pictures, the more you see that you have more attention to detail. As you continue to develop your photography skills, as you continue to develop your photography skill, you will see the difference in a different shade of lighting, different color grading, different way of setting different aperture. And if you set it to this particular aperture, you might get this kind of lighting, this kind of shot. It's all about experimental anyway. Also, you get to learn how to manipulate light. If you wanted to create a one light system, a two light system, a three light system, dark lights, scary lights, different light system. Not only that, but this new skill set you can also translate into other aspects of your work as a photography, and this will bring endless opportunities. Now let's talk about the cons. Being a photographer comes with its own challenge. Okay, it's not. But there are a few things. To consider about being a photographer. Okay, obviously as a photographer, you're up behind the camera all the time. You're the one taking the pictures, doing all the work. No, maybe not all the work. You're doing all the taking pictures, but it's somebody else's that gets the reward of the pictures. But you get credited for the work. Obviously, as a perfectionist, you can become very picky with you can be, as a perfectionist, as most creative are, you become very picky with the amount of photographs that you want to use. Sometimes you might get a client that says, "Send me all the photos," and even though you have goodwill of sending them all the photos, it's also a representation of your brand. So it might be best if you're shipping the client to show them the camera roll and let them see a couple of pictures that you have taken and which one they like, and then you can create a compilation of those and send them to that. Because if they say send me all the pictures, unless you're shooting like lookbook or unless you're shooting for e-commerce, sending all the pictures could also be a reflection of your work, especially if the photograph didn't come out great and you only pick one of the best photography, the best photograph to send to them as an end product. Obviously, not to talk about how expensive photographer cameras are. Some can go as little as 2,000 to 10 to 30,000. I even seen cameras for 80,000 or more. And you've got to invest in your gear and make sure you keep your gear safe, all that kind of stuff. Also, a lot of photographers just believe that if they have the right gear, if they have the right camera, the pictures are going to be automatically beautiful. In some cases, having the best equipment do help, but I just realized that Having a great camera is only one aspect. You also need to know how to use it. You also need to have the skill set. You need to have the experience. You need to have the eye for aesthetic. You also need to have the eye for attention to detail. Despite all the hard work that goes into it, there is ups and downs in season where if you get a quiet month, a quiet year. What are you going to do to sustain yourself for a living? I would recommend if you're a fashion photographer and you've built the skill sets, probably the one way to sustain yourself outside of photography, or if you start a clothing brand, not a clothing brand, sorry, if you resell if you resell clothes, and you now take your photography skill and translate that into this new fun passion to sustain yourself. And that's it. Those are the pros and cons. If I missed anything, if this resonated with you, leave a comment below, or check the link in the descriptions. I've got an ebook for you that talks about every single thing that you need as a photographer.